Hello children, welcome to the social science class of 8th standard. We had started economics second chapter, that is meaning and types of economy. In the previous class we had learnt about the meaning and the features of the economy and the introduction to types of economy. So first we will learn about the socialist economy. It is also called a central planned economy or command economy. When productive resources are owned and controlled by the government to promote the overall interest of the society is called as a socialist economy. So in this system, the central planning agencies plan and regulates the various economic activities in the interest of all. The socialist economy has the following features. So government takes the entire decision. So the motive of all the things is economic decisions in the welfare, social welfare. The objective is social welfare. And there is a collective ownership means of production. Means the socialist economic government is owns the means of production on behalf of people. So all are the owner of the property, but the government is only controlling. And price of all the commodities are decided by the government by the central planning method. So central planning, identification of national priorities and allocation of resources to meet them is done through the economic planning. For this purpose, central planning authority is created with the help of the central planning authority. So consumers are freed. Here there is a limited choice. Whatever the government has to produce, they have to purchase. So government is the king here. Example of socialist is China, Russia, North Korea, etc. are the example of socialist. In capitalist system, the means of production are owned by the individuals or free to use them in any way that benefits them. Hence it is called as a free enterprises economy. Here the government intervention in the economic activity is minimal. The important feature of capitalist economy are as follows. So the private property is there, producer is a decision maker, all the factors of production are owned by the private individual. They can acquire how much ever wealth they want. So they get incentives, means they benefit for collecting the strong. So they want to become wealthy and stronger. And free of enterprises, they can start their own business, any kind of business. They are free to select it. And consumer sovereignty, the consumers are the king here. The consumers will decide what kind of goods they wanted, which satisfy them. And the profit motive, for them profit is very important. So they try to give the best quality and try to take the maximum profit. And price is there is a competition in market price. Since the consumers are king, depending on the supply and demand, the price is determined here. So completely it is profit oriented, and demand is also very high and the competition is also very high. And the government interference is very less, and the consumers are the king. So we can say sovereignty of the consumers. So they are free to spend their income of the goods and services which they like. So what are the private property, freedom to enterprises, consumer sovereignty, profit motive, and competition in the market, and absence of government interference. So here the producers are the individuals or the private sectors, and producer decides what to produce, how to produce, how much to produce, for whom to produce, and profit is the main motive, and the price is determined by the market force, that is the demand and supply. And the consumer decide what kind of things they want. It depends on the demand and supply. So they demand on looking at the quality of the product. So the capitalist economy is also called as market economy or free economy, because there is no government interference. The entire activity of production, distribution and the consumption is on a private base. Is it very clear with the capitalist economy? So the capitalist economy is free economy. There is no restriction. They can start their own business, they can accumulate wealth. So income in disadvantages are income is distributed unequal. The richer will become rich and the poorer will be remaining poor, and the wide gap between the rich and poor is there. There is no role of government. If there is, it is minimal. The government will only a minimum, they cannot support. All the economic activities are controlled by the market. The market is very, very important. Market will decide the all kind of economic activity, whether to produce industrial, agriculture, everything is depend on the market. Example of it is America, Japan and the European countries. Some of the European countries. Now we shall learn about the mixed economy. Mixed economy combines the good features of both capitalist and the socialist. It has combination of elements of both free enterprises as well as capitalist economy as well as government controlled socialist economy. It is defined as a economic system where the public and private sector coexist. This feature is called as a mixed economy. So here both private and public sector coexist. So the private has to is controlled by the public sector by the license, taxation policy, price policy, monitor, that is the financial matter is also monetary or physical policy. So there is a freedom for making profit as well as the thing. The degree of control is either very low or very high depending on the country. So individuals are free to start any business until unless they have to follow the rules and regulation of the government. Economic planning is done. The planning is done by the government. How much resources has to be used, what kind of resources should be allotted for the private and public sector, and there is also private sector is encouraged by incentives, supporting subsidiary work, that is giving loan. In the private sector, factors of production owned by and controlled by private individual and price commodities are decided by the market. In public sector, factors of production are owned by and controlled by the government and decided are made by the government. Is it very clear, children? So the price mechanism also is controlled. Socialist is the government, is the king here, everything is done by government. Capitalist is the private individual. Factors of production is under the control of the individuals. Consumer are the king here. Consumer is the king and market is dependent on the supply and demand. And mixed economy, both public and private existence.